up this morning. Dear Lord, we give you thanks for bringing us into another year. Let us live to see 2021. We ask that you will continue to bless our county, bless our country, bless our government. And Lord, all us together. All these things we ask in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now I ask Ms. Gaines to call the roll. Commissioner.
I, Olympia Gaines, President as Clerk of the Board of Commissioners of Bullock County, hereby call the roll for those on the governing body. All those present shall answer by saying aye. Chairman Roy Thompson.
Aye.
Commissioner Anthony Simmons.
Aye.
Commissioner Ray Mosley.
Aye.
Commissioner Jeffrey Stringer. Commissioner Timmy Rushing.
Aye.
Commissioner Walter Gibson. I have determined that we have 6 members of the Board of Commissioners present, therefore we have a quorum to conduct business for the good of the citizens of Bullock County. I now yield the floor to the chairman.
Thank you, Ms. Gaines. We're going to next move into our zoning agenda. I need a motion to approve the zoning agenda.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second. Motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, show of hands. None on approval. Mr. Newman, go ahead and proceed, please.
All right, sir. We have 3 items tonight, and item number 1, R&H Development Company Incorporated submitted an application for a condition modification to conditions that were modified and approved by the Board of Commissioners on September the 3rd, 2019, and originally approved on August 7th, 2018. The request is to modify condition number 1 to allow the creation of a streetlight district as an amenity that would allow a 10% bonus density for the subdivision. The property is located on Herman Russian Road. Mr. Jim Anderson will be acting as agent tonight. The planning and zoning recommended to approve the request by unanimous vote. So, Jim, you would. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you. Okay, this is the property. It's right next to the existing Chatham Place subdivision. This is Chatham Place Section 2 is what they're calling it, and this is an overview of it. The sign located on the property, and this is just looking down Herman Russian Road, and you can see the first section of Chatham Place across the road. And the road actually dead ends right here. And when I took the picture, this is kind of what the subdivision looked like. This is the plat of the subdivision. And Jim, I didn't get the, oh, okay. Your turn.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Chairman Thompson and Commission. This is a pretty simple one. We're asking to allow a streetlight district to be considered to allow us to get the 10% bonus density in the subdivision. And there were several things that were listed in the conditions that could be used for the 10% bonus density, but the streetlight district was not one of those. And we're asking to modify that condition to allow the streetlight district to give us the 10% bonus density. I'll answer any questions if you have any.
So they can do this streetlight district.
Have any questions? Comments?
Mr. Chairman, I don't have anybody sign up to speak on this, and just give you a little history on this. What we're talking about is, normally one of the first conditions that we do on a subdivision is we do give a condition where they can do a 10% bonus density, so they can get a few more lots in there. And we have several items that if you do these items, one of these items, you can get the 10% bonus density. And somehow this one, it got left out about the streetlight district, so that's why he's wanting to do is add the streetlight district so they can do the 10% bonus density.
I think from a safety standpoint, the streetlight district would be super to be able to allow it to go in there. So, no other comments or questions, and I'll ask for a motion.
To approve, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion to approve, second. Any more discussion? Seeing none, then hearing none. All of those in favor, show of hands. Unanimous approval. Next.
All right, sir. Item number 2 is a streetlight district approval request for Chatham Place, Phase 2. Well, excuse me, Chatham Place, Section 2, Phase 7. So they took the first section, and it was actually in 6 phases. So we're starting on the second section, and it starts off at Phase 7. As you can see, it's the same photos, and this is the actual Phase 7, and the red dots are the actual proposed streetlights. Jeff, is there anything that Jim needs to say on this one? Or?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm just saying that tonight, y'all are voting whether to approve or not, but we'll come back with a resolution to actually create it at maybe the next meeting. I was gonna have that tonight, and I needed some clarification on a couple of things.
Okay. No problem.
And that same thing will be true on the next street like this as well.
We need to do them separately, don't we?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any comments or questions? And I'll ask for a motion.
I make a motion that we approve this streetlight district.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any more questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion, show of hands. Unanimous approval. All right, next.
All right, the next one is a River Bluff River Bluff subdivision, Phase 1, and is owned by River Bluff Properties, and they submitted an application for a streetlight district also. And this is down near Eldora Farms vicinity. And this is the property. This is Phase 1 of this subdivision, and the green dots are streetlights that are proposed for this one. Yeah, anything?
Any questions? Then I'll ask for a motion.
Second.
The motion, we have a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, show of hands. Unanimous approval. Thank you, Mr. Jim.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Board.
Mr. Chairman, that's all I have tonight.
All right, thank you very much. Before I entertain a motion to approve the general agenda, do we have any other discussion or modifications desired by the Assistant County Manager or the Board?
Make a motion to approve the general agenda.
Second.
Have a motion, second. All those in favor, show of hands. Mr. Gibson. Motion carries by unanimous decision. Thank you. Going next to the public comments, and this time I'll recognize those citizens who have signed up to address the board. Once your name is called, come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and make your comments. All speakers who are recognized will be allotted 4 minutes. Ms. Cindy Smith, I believe you're coming up today.
I'm back again.
That's fine.
Well, my problem is not getting better, it's getting worse. Now, you're helping these people with subdivision and stuff, that's great. I paid you a cold call in November. I said, Mr. Thompson, what can you do for me? You told me you could raise my taxes. I said, you shouldn't have to. Major building going on in this county if you're right around it. I was born here. I spent 7 years at DFAX working with the county. Now, if you're working with the government, you're going to have paperwork. If you do your job and do it right, you're going to have paperwork. Now, Mr. Reed, he spoke in behalf of some homeowners who had bought a nice home. They paid their hard-earned money for it. And within a couple of years, their home starts having major problems. Why? Because these homes are not up to spec. And they should be. And now, if you do your job, you're going to have paperwork. But some people don't want to do the paperwork, they want to cut corners. Well, shame on them. Now, and the other thing you told me you could do for me was scrape roads. You asked me where I live, you know where I live, you know my name. But if that's all you can do for me, why is this county paying you $29,000, $69,000 $29,069.60. You know, I don't understand it. Maybe you can explain it to me. And you can have the rest of my minutes if you want to.
No, ma'am, you used your 4 minutes.
No, I haven't used my 4. I've still got some time. But anyway, I will. Now, I have major trashing going on my property. People coming up, throwing beer cans, beer bottles, condoms, empty condom wrappers, condoms with the condoms still in them. Okay? And somebody left their nice red Nike tennis shoe. I don't know where the other one is, but now that didn't just hop on my property. Somebody went on my property, somebody put it there. Now, my county commissioner, Walter Gibson, said, see that Bobby Abbott for trashing problems? Well, he didn't help me much at all, and we're paying him $51,958.10. We paid him that in 2020. I say, people, where is our money going? I don't see it going to help these citizens like me. I pay my taxes. I go by the rules. I go by the laws. Why can't you help me? And they shot my dog. I told the sheriff, you don't shoot my dog unless he's rabid coming after you. The good thing was he wasn't fatally wounded. I treated him. He was wounded. He was in pain. And he limped for a few days and he recovered. They're going inside my car, throwing trash, and I do lock my car. But anyway, there was a bag of filth, and it had a long metal rod through it. Now, that's sad. That's sad. But can you help us? Can you? Sure you can. Do you want to? I don't know. But if you don't want to, may I suggest you step down and let somebody else do the job. And Jackie Stringer, if you want to run for this office, you got my vote. Thank you.
We got any comments from Ms. Smith? We certainly appreciate your coming. And,
well, I'd rather be somewhere else, but I felt I need to be here and speak out.
yes, ma'am.
And I do that because you can't come back and say, well, I didn't know about it. You know about it. You've been knowing about it.
You know, I guess the only comment that I would make is I'm glad, I'm glad you told me what I made. I didn't know.
Well, you should know what you made. You ran for this office. You were elected. You should know what you're making.
Well, I do now, but thank you for making me aware of that. And then secondly, and I mentioned this before, security cameras.
I have them. I bought me a firearm and ammo. I'm going to take this course at GSU, learn how to use it.
Yes, ma'am.
But, you know, I don't see your office helping me much at all. Much at all. None. Now, the sheriff, when I call him with these problems, his team shows up in a timely manner.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
you and some of your team, y'all don't even return my phone calls. You don't want to talk to me.
Any other comments? Well, I'll repeat again. Thank you for coming. We're gonna move now into the consent agenda. We have seven items on the consent agenda, and we can put all those together, or we can single anything out, put under new business. What is your desire?
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept the consent agenda.
Okay, we have a motion to vote on, and a second to vote on collectively. Any discussion? Hearing none. Need a show of hands for those that approve the motion. Unanimous approval. Thank you all very much. We're under new business, and I believe Ms. Cindy Maddox will be discussing this as workers' compensation.
Good evening. As most of you know, the workers' compensation coverage that we provide for our employees is required by law. It helps us to fund medical expenses and lost time benefits for employees that are injured on the job. We purchase workers' compensation coverage through ACCG and have for a number of years. it is time to renew that policy at this point. And the reason that I'm here tonight is to ask you to consider an alternative coverage arrangement from what we've had in the past. Previously, we've been covered under what's called a first dollar plan, meaning that we pay a premium, and in exchange for that premium, the ACCG pays the claims without any deductible or additional cost to the county. ACCG has offered us this year what's called a large deductible plan, which is similar to being self-insured, in that the county pays a much smaller premium in exchange for having a large deductible that allows us to bear some of the risk, but also the financial benefits associated with the workers' comp program. ACCG has offered this large deductible type plan since 1992, and they have 14 counties that participate in it. Bullock County is comparable in size and or loss experience to these other counties, and they've offered us the opportunity to get into this program. The staff from the county manager's office, finance and legal have all evaluated and reviewed the information that was provided, and we've provided it to you in the agenda for you to review. If you look at this program, which would incorporate a $300,000 deductible per occurrence, and you use our former claims experience to evaluate the cost of such a program, in looking at the past 7 years, we would have saved right at $600,000 over that 7-year period, which is on average $85,000 per year. Now, it is significant to note that in this type of plan, or in any plan, claims experience does fluctuate over time. There's good years and there are bad years. In again, doing this analysis, 5 of the last 7 years, the county had better than expected claims, better than expected losses, and so we would have saved significant money during those years. 2 of the years, we had higher than expected losses. So when you average those out across 7 years, again, we're looking at a $600,000 savings if we look at historical claims. So there's no reason to expect that we would not have a similar experience looking forward under this kind of plan. As Mr. Couch said when we were evaluating this, going to a large deductible plan helps us to bet on ourselves and really count on us to make a commitment or continue our commitment to employee safety and loss reduction. There is some risk involved, but there is also an opportunity for a big financial reward. Again, it's a tried and true program that other counties have participated in and have enjoyed some financial benefits from it. The savings for the first year, if we go with this program, would be about $350,000, the initial savings. And then we would begin to pay claims after that. It does appear in our evaluation that this would be a favorable alternative for the county, that we are of the size and maturity level that we should consider doing this. And I would ask for you to approve the agreement that would allow us to change the program. And I'd be happy to entertain questions.
Okay. Do you have any questions? And I'll ask for a motion.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion, show of hands. Unanimous approval. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
You continue saving us some money.
I'll do my best.
Next, we're going to move into staff comments. We have any comments from staff? Hearing none, we'll move into commissioner comments. Are there any comments from the commissioners? I might explain where the county manager is at. He's been riding all day with Ms. Pat Lanier Jones to each precinct, just checking on the voting precincts and how it's going, and if there are any complications and things. And he made me aware before the meeting. He might make it, he might not make it, and I can attest at present time he's not made it. So but having said that, the not anything from any other commissioner, then I would just like to thank everyone for coming tonight, and, you know, it's worked out pretty well. It will be a short meeting. We aren't through, but I'm compelled to read the next few statements. I must now call for a motion to adjourn into executive session in accordance with the provisions of OCGA 50-14-3B2 and other applicable laws pursuant to the advice of County Attorney Jeff Akins, for the purpose of consultation with the county attorney to discuss personnel matters. I need a motion to enter into executive session.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
We have a motion with a second. All those in favor, show of hands. Unanimous approval. We are now moving into executive session, and